What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Road to the Final Diaby. He is the left mid, French, 84 rated from Bayer Leverkusen. They are currently second or joint first in their group. They are technically second on goal difference. They have won 2, lost 1, same as I think it's Prague, who are in the top spot. And to be honest, I think the team below them, which I think is Nice, has lost 2, won 1. There's 2 games remaining. All they practically need to do is win one more roughly and hope that the other team in the bottom 2 have lost, or Nice has lost, because I think the bottom team has actually lost all 3. So it'd be very interesting to see. I feel like he probably will go up, which would be nice for him, because I believe he'd go up to an 86 if I'm not correct. If it is an 85, there's still things that he can be done. Let's get into the in-games and see what Diaby is all about. So if we do go into Diaby, he seems to be one of the ones that always pops up for me. I managed to get him in a 2-player pack right at the very start, and I thought, you know what, I kind of slacked a little bit on the weekend and didn't manage to get as many as I wanted out. I thought there's not really any content going on at the moment. We've had the 6 games for the Road to the Final knockout, so I think if it's still relevant, let's bring Diaby out. We'll see how he was. I relatively enjoyed him. He was okay, but I did manage to get him as the first future star last year, so I owe him the respect to give him a go. We did NDD yesterday, and I still want to do a few more. There's kind of just a little bit of a dry well at the moment, but we will be getting back to plenty of player reviews as we go forward and trying to figure out who we're going to do next. Obviously, tomorrow is going to be big for the team of the week, so we will get into that, and then Black Friday, potentially Icon SBCs, maybe another promo. It's going to be all go. Diaby is a 95 paced left mid, and predominantly pace and dribbling is pretty much the only thing he has. Shooting wise is okay, but it's not really a massive strength of his. He's got a 76 finishing with the 80 attacking positioning, which for me as a left mid 84 is good, because he is an 84 and he's got 95 pace, 87 dribbling, but I definitely want that to go up as the course goes on, and hopefully they do well. And the problem is, I'm saying this with all of these Road to the Finals, only so many of them can have multiple upgrades. He'll probably get 1, maybe get 2. I cannot see them going any further than that. It all depends on obviously their draws and who they come up against, but they have got a good team. They're not terrible, which we'll have a look at the end review on all of his links and the team and see who's kind of normally getting specials, because obviously they did have Havertz last year, managed to get a couple of informs, and then managed to get himself a team of the season. I don't think Diaby got a team of the season last year, which we'll have a look in the generations. In terms of other stats then, like we said, he's got 98 acceleration, which for me is, you can't really get much better, to be honest. Even if you whacked a chem style to make that 99, there's really no point. He is very quick. He's a 4-star skiller with a 2-star weak foot. He left-footed, 5'7", with a short and lean build with the high attack and work rate and the medium defensive. So he's a very small, elegant, very quick player down the wing. 93 and 95 agility balance, which is phenomenal. Only the 78 composure, which definitely needs some work as we go forward. I think he has come from an 81, so he's had a +3 upgrade. A lot of nice stats coming in. We've had 2+ on the pace, 5 on the shooting, 4 on the passing and physical, and 3 on the dribbling defending. So there is a big upgrade from him. There is a huge upgrade in terms of going from his 81 to his 84. He is another French left mid. We have St. Max there already. We also have Dembele. So there is some really good options coming now into the French kind of team already, even from the get-go, to be honest, from just gold cards. There was a lot of French players that I think you could pretty much make a not necessarily a god tier team, but close to straight off the bat. Now we have got 47 strength. We already knew that. He's very quick. He's going to be trying to get away from defenders more than anything. 74 stamina. It's not great, and definitely could do with some work with the upgrades. In terms of chemistry style, people are looking mainly at the Deadeye to get that passing, to get that shooting up. That will give you 80 shooting and 86 passing him, turn him into an 87 left mid, left wing. That's pretty fair enough, to be honest. I think that then really opens him up for a nice card to an extent. 86 finishing, 94 shot power, 90 attacking position. He also then gets 98 short, 77 long is obviously where it stays, 91 vision, and 75 curve. So it does kind of rectify a little bit from him. I feel like he's not as useless as such. In terms of other chemistry styles, I think Marksman's on 7% out of 68 votes. For me, I think it most definitely needs to be the Deadeye, if anything. The Marksman, I'd say, would only work. I'd say you'd even just go finisher, to be honest. If you was going to go with more of an attacking left mid or left wing, someone who wants to be scoring, then I probably would go with a finisher just to boost up that finishing and get the dribbling and don't worry about the passing. But I think as a kind of benefit for the overall card, Deadeye is definitely the one. So let's go into the overall or the gameplay, and then we'll move into the in-games. So with Diaby, as you can tell, a lot of the time is spent doing this. Running down that wing, getting the 1-2, it's a cracking through ball into Fatty, who again makes the knock over, doesn't manage to get the goal. Fatty then gets the ball back and keeper manages to get it, but predominantly what we'll see from him is just complete running down the wing. Mendy, with obviously that link to the left back to left mid, is always amazing. Thurland is probably the best left back in the game currently other than Icons, and he linked up so well and he makes anybody look good, to be honest. We see there again, absolutely clattered. But he's really good at just making that 1-2. We see that little run and he is absolutely off. Defenders obviously trail towards him because they know he's quite fast. And you see stuff like that. That is phenomenal finishing for an 84 rated card with not that much finishing. To be honest, I was really happy in trying to replicate that every time. I just hit it on a whim. I could have probably tried to pass it across. And you can see constantly he is really, really good at getting behind. We try and go for the shot again with the weak foot this time, thinking maybe give it a go. We already scored an absolute banger, pretty much 1-2 games in, and he was already doing really well. We see again, trying for that kind of shot. Maybe could go across, and that's where his kind of passing will come in, and I think that's where the Deadeye will be very, very practical and very efficient to use on this card, because he makes so many chances going down that wing. So if we do go into the overall for him then, as you can see, 66k, 61k on Xbox, would I say it's a fair price? I think at the moment we're in a kind of dead period with him. Obviously Europa is not long until it's back on, and we could see him going forward. I don't think he'll rise up this time round because I feel like he needs another game after that. So it's probably best to maybe wait, either get him before he goes out of packs, maybe on Thursday rewards, or if you want to wait and kind of like count it just before the Europa, he may get some hype, so you always got to watch that, because that's when they're kind of guaranteed that rating upgrade. And if they win the next match, I'll see a little bit of a price increase, but probably not the max, because they know there's still a chance that they could lose, depending on obviously who's playing. If the top two teams are playing and the bottom two and they win, then fair enough, they've probably gone through. If they kind of go against one of the lower teams, maybe get a draw or a loss, that potentially is a buy time, because it comes down to the final match. Maybe you make that risk, and he would go for a very, very cheap price if they draw or lose their next match. But in terms of everything, as you can see, we will want the Deadeye on him, because I feel like that is, like you saw in the clips, the most practical stat, the practical chemistry style to put on him. And I think he does well with it. You saw him going down the wing with that kind of extra finishing. He's got a cracking left foot, a really, really nice finish on him. I feel like he's better at assisting. He's really good at kind of cutting in and making them across balls, and that's predominantly what FIFA is this year. It's kind of back to the sweaty goals almost. It's pretty much running past, knocking it across and getting the easy goal, and he will definitely do that with the pace, with the dribbling. He is absolutely fantastic at getting behind players. But there is always limitations. The composure will always be in the back of your mind. The strength is not enough in case he goes into them one-on-one battles. Stamina for me is not enough, maybe a half-time player at best. Even then, you could go with maybe a super sub in the 60th, 70th minute. He brings the pace, so that is more than likely a liable option for him, or viable in fact. And everything else is relatively okay. Pace is good, dribbling's good, shooting's okay. It's good with the chemistry style, but it'll have to do. There's no way of getting it up even more and getting the passing up at the same time. In terms of his generations then, like I said, we did get obviously the Summer Heat card, which was really nice, to be fair. We managed to get the Future Star out of a pack. Other than that, he's not played anything. He's 21 years old, came from PSG, moved straight to Leverkusen, and he's managed to get a couple of informs. He's got, what, a Future Star, Summer Heat, and now road to the final. Can we see more from him? That's what we want to see. Plenty of informs, plenty of specials, and really get him back up to that rating and really challenge St. Max for kind of like that next spot. In terms of the Leverkusen team then, we already have Bellarabi on the right, so pretty much just need a good striker now, which unfortunately I don't think they have. Other than that, Bailey has the same position. We have an 81 striker, but I think realistically it's going to have to be the 2 on the wing and maybe another either French or German striker that kind of links them both together, in my opinion. You're not really going to get too much out of Aaron Greaves, Bender. You're not really going to get much out of any of them, to be honest. They're going to be relatively low rated informs to start with, and they're not really going to get up into that level before this card becomes absolutely useless. As you see what I've gone with, Martial, Pogba, Furland, cracking links. Other players that you could use, Sane is a phenomenal, to be honest, I do like him in the middle, but a phenomenal left mid at the very least, or a left wing. And then the same with St. Max. St. Max is always a cheat code in this game. It's the 5-star skills. He is just absolutely wonderful to play with. But hopefully you did enjoy this video. Let me know down below what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.